Hello, everyone. Yeah, I guess we're live. I thought we weren't live. All right, so welcome to the Otumba Adams Show. My name is, and has always been, Adam Day, and you guys are welcome, especially. How has been the day? How has been work? How has been life? And how has January 2022 been so far? Today being the 12th day in the month of January, right? I actually felt that like this month was going to be a very slow month, but as it were, we are almost at the middle of the month, and it seems this year is going to end at a light speed. Anyway, how are you guys doing? How is life generally? Generally, on this episode, we'll be looking at what type of income earner are you. All right, but before we get into that, would you like to introduce yourself, right? If you're there, you're watching me live, because this is a live broadcast and you'd like to introduce yourself, please just put your name and your location in the comment section and I would welcome you especially. All right, I'm seeing some of you guys there right now and I would want you guys to say a word so that I would know that like, hey, I'm not the only person here and you are also watching. All right, so what type of income earner are you? All right. For a lot of us, we might probably have heard that, like, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be rich, you have to have different sources of income, both active and passive incomes. But then when people say all this, we tend to ask ourselves, that, like, okay, so how many do I have and which one am I doing and which like how many of these types of incomes are out there, right? And how do I know which one I'm actually doing at the moment? And that is what we basically would be tracing today. I can see someone's comment right now. All right, so I can see Tom Page. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you, Tom, for being here. Thank you very much. All right, so on this episode, we'll be looking at what type of income earner are or you are, as it were. All right, so number one on the list that I have right now is earned income. Now, for a lot of us, or for a lot of people out there, this is the level that they are in. A lot of people that are doing white collar jobs, sorry, everyone doing a white collar job is actually in this category, right? If you're getting a salary at the end of the month, then you are under the end income. Now, is this the best form of stream of income, as it were, or like form of income? Not so much, because you most likely would not be able to grow so well beyond the particular point that like you are in, right? And if you're not careful, you would have used a large part of your life and you realize that like you've spent 35 years in service, you are old, you've been retired, and you cannot really do so much within with the time left on earth. Do you get? So earned income is great. If you're starting off, I would tell you that like, hey, start off with an earned income, because even if you're going to transit to owning your own business or growing big, you still have to start somewhere, especially if you do not have parents who can actually help you out to kickstart a business idea that you might probably have. All right. So earned income is one of the uh, incomes that we have right now. All right. So moving on to number two, I don't know why I was stuttering, is profit income. Profit income. Now, for a lot of people who are into one business or the other, this type of income is what works for them, because you sell a service and then you make money out of it, and the profit gained becomes yours. All right. A lot of we entrepreneurs, skilled people out there, this is the type of income that they earn. I'll use my business for an example, right? I create explainer videos for clients. I am a voiceover artist as well. And whenever they come to me and say, hey, we need your service, how much do you charge? And then I give them the bill, I get the work delivered, and then they pay me for my service, right? The profit I get from that business is belongs to me, right? I could easily like spend it or reinvest into the business and then make the business grow beyond leaps and bounds. All right. Now that is the next level. And this level is not really so easy. It only takes those that are disciplined or are willing to be disciplined to get to this level and would not squander every money that they make. They will try to like use it to grow the business and make the business as great as it can be. All right. So this is the second part of the list, profit income. The third one is interest income. And literally, what is interest income? Interest income basically is you buying bonds from the government, right? Let's say you're trying to buy the Nigerian bond or the US bond or whatever country bond that you're trying to buy, depending on what country you're actually situated in at the moment. All right. So interest income rather. Sorry for that. The interest income is you buying the government bond, and then you get a fixed interest from whatever money that you put into it. It's basically like you being a bank and you're trying to borrow the government money. You are lending the government money with a certain fixed percentage. All right. Now there are different types of bonds that are out there. All right. You could probably try to do more research about that. And the thing about these bonds is that the percentage range is usually very little, very, very little as compared to you risking your money in doing business, right? But the beauty about it is that the lesser the risk, the more assured that your money is going to come to you. All right. So you could actually give this a thought. And this is would probably be better if you've gotten to that level that okay, you've made so much and you are asking yourself, okay, so what can I invest my money in? Let's say you have 100 million naira, for example, and then you're thinking, okay, I do not want to spend this money. Where can I fix this money so that to yield return? So when you buy the government bonds, you are rest assured that okay, fine, a percentage to 5% is coming to you annually, and nothing shakes. Your money is intact. Your interests are coming in. They are trickling in, as it were. All right. So that's the next form of income. And then the other form of income that I have here is number 4 on my list is dividend income. Now, if you're buying shares from companies, right, you have a right to the dividend. It means that whenever the company is making profit, you get a percentage based on the your percentage of the share that you have in the company. For those of us that did business studies in secondary school, I could actually remember then when my teachers would talk about dividends and all that. And yeah, in reality, you can actually make money from the dividends that you put into a certain company, a certain company's share rather. But please make sure that you do all due diligence, because there was actually a time that some people bought shares of some banks some years back, and those shares nosedived. You need to be sure that you are not coming in late, right? Such that your money would not pack up at the end of the day. All right. But this, as it were, is another form of income by buying shares of company, and then whenever the company makes profit at the end of the year, they share the profits, and you get your own percentage based on the amount that you have within the company. All right. So that's another form of income that you can actually think about. And it's really cool. You don't really have to save your money all the time in a bank that will not yield interest for you. Put it into shares that you're sure that they are going to grow on the long run. Now, you may not necessarily have to buy shares from Nigeria alone. With the level that technology has gotten to, you can actually buy shares from other countries abroad. Just do more research about it, right? And then maybe one of these days I'm going to do a topic on that, and you can easily buy shares from companies abroad, companies like Apple, Google, and Facebook, and other budding companies that are growing these days. All right, so that's number 4 on the list. Number 5 on the list is rental income. Rental income. Now, what do we mean by rental income? This is basically you buying properties, right? And then you rent it out. You buy a property, let's say you buy a large building, right? And then you start letting out each room within the building. Or you could probably build a building. Let's say, okay, where I am right now, I am in Akure, Ondo State, and there is the Federal University of Technology, Akure, not so far from where I live. And we have these hostels built by different individuals. And then within the hostels, there are different rooms, let's say 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, even up to 50 rooms. And the, what's the word now? The owner of the building gets money from each room that he rents out. Now, that is a form of income for that person. Now, the only downside about this type of earning is that like you need a huge capital to start off. You can't just use little money to build a large house, right, or hostel. And even if you need your money back, you can't easily get it back because you would not be able to get someone to actually buy that property easily. But it is another form of income that is beautiful, especially if you are made in life, you've grown, right? You have a lot of money at your disposal, and you feel that like, hey, let's do this, because you know that like on the long run, the money trickling in would actually amount to something in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, thereabout. All right. So that's another form of income. And the last but not, sorry, number six, not the last but not least, I beg your pardon, is capital gains income. Capital gains income. Now, basically, this is you selling your assets, right? And whatever profit you make off the assets is your capital gains income. If you're selling your shares, you're selling your business, you're selling whatever it is. Okay, let me use a scenario of shares, for example. Let's say you bought a share for 100 naira, and then you bought 1,000 of those shares, right? That's like at 100,000 naira. And then the shares rather accumulates to 150 naira per share. You know, remember you bought it for 100 per share, but then like it's gained profit, and then like it's now 150 naira per share, and you now decide to sell off all your shares. At this rate, your gain, because you've sold it at 150,000 naira, remember you have 1,000 shares in it, you sold it for 150,000 naira, and your gain would then be 50,000 naira. That is another form of income, as it were, meaning that like you bought something at a particular price, and then like the price went up, and you sold it and you made profit. All right, so that's another form of income. And then the last but not least is royalty income. Royalty income. Now, the people that benefits from this type of income are those who are in the would I say artistic niche, the music artists, the writers, right? These are the people that actually gain from this type of income, in the sense that, let's say someone sings a song, and so let's say Davido sings a song, and then the song is being used on different platforms. Now, for every time that particular song is being used, he gets a commission, right? Let's say the song is being featured in a movie, he's going to get a royalty for every sale that that movie probably for every profit rather the movie makes, right? It comes back to him. Another person that I'm going to use, or yeah, the person I'm going to use is the writer of Harry Potter, right? The lady who wrote the book, and till date, she's still getting royalties off the book that she has written, in the sense that um, anytime they use the characters in a book to either do a movie, a video game, or any other thing, maybe like T-shirts, maybe toys, whatever it is that like they use the characters in her novel to do, like Harry Potter and the other people within the book, she gets a royalty of every sale that is made. And I know a lot of people that actually make money this way, especially for those people that actually that are on Amazon Kindle. They are writers on Amazon Kindle, and for every time they make a sale on their book, they get a royalty that comes back to them. So meaning that like for as long as that book is on Amazon and somebody buys that book, they are going to get a cut out of the profits. Even if it's going to be in the next 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, they would always be making profit off that. And that is why people like Michael Jackson, even though they are late, whenever their songs are played, they are still making profit, or their families, or whoever it is that like is in charge of making getting the money that comes out of the royalties gets it. And these are the different forms of incomes that you can actually make on the long run. So ask yourself that like, which one are you doing right now? Are you in the end income level? Are you in the profit income level, the interest income level, the dividend income level, the rental income level, the capital gains income level, or the royalty income level? Or are you probably doing much more than one at the moment? But the beauty about it is that like if you can combine all these things together, right, then you are sure that like, hey, you're going to be wealthy very soon. On this note, I have come to the end of today's episode, and it's a pleasure to have had you guys stay till the end. It means a lot to me. And as I always say, be the best version God has created you to be. And don't forget that I am still on the lookout for entrepreneurs that would like to talk about their business, because I hope to interview 50 to 60 entrepreneurs this year. And if you know anyone, please refer them to me. All right. On this note, I have come to the end. And thank you guys. Peace out.